History of Myanmar. Myanmar, also known as Burma, covered a period from the time of first known human settlement 700 years ago to the present day. The earliest inhabitants of recorded history were a Tibeto-Burman-speaking people who established the Pchu city and adopted Theravada Buddhism. In the early 9th century, the Burmese people invaded the upper Irrawaddy Valley. They went on to create the Phangan Kingdom, 1044 to 1297. Over this time, the Burmese language and Burma culture gradually came to replace Pchu norms. After the first Mongol invasion of Burma in 1287, several small kingdoms, the main force of which were the Kingdom of Ava, the Hathavadi Kingdom, the Kingdom of Madayu, and the Senstasis were principal powers, came to dominate the landscape, replete with ever-changing alliances and constant wars. The Toungoo dynasty, 1510 to 1752, reunified the country in the second half of the 16th century, establishing for a brief time the largest empire in Southeast Asian history. Later, Toungoo kings introduced several main administrative and economic reforms that in the 7th and early 18th century culminated in a smaller, more peaceful and prosperous kingdom. The Kongbong dynasty, 1752 to 1885, restored the kingdom in the second half of the 18th century and continued the Toungoo reforms with increased central rule and created one of the most literate states in Asia. The dynasty also went to war with all its neighbors. The Anglo-Burmese War, 1824 to 1885, eventually contributed to British colonial rule. Since independence in 1948, the country has been in one of the longest-running civil wars involving insurgent groups representing political and ethnic minority groups and successive central government. The Burmese democratic reform of 2011 to 2012 were an ongoing series of political, economic, and administrative change in Burma undertaken by the military-backed government. The flagging democracy that grew out of this early election has continued to grow since 2010 and in 2015. After the most democratic process in Myanmar history, Deng Xiao was sworn in as president, finally ending Myanmar's long and arduous path toward the implementation of a democratic system.